Ooh, that's a lot of noise. Oh, you can hear the autofocus on my camera now. I might have to just set this to manual. How do I do that? Focus mode. Manual focus. Is that focused? Yeah, close enough. And this light is super bright now. I might have to diffuse that. Anyways, I got a new microphone, so hopefully it gets rid of some of the background noise. Actually, I don't have any noise suppression on this one. There we go. That's much better, right? Okay, good enough. So today is a little bit of a different mod stream. Last weekend I was showing you guys how I search for lenses on eBay, search for used lenses on eBay, what to look for in the listing, and you know how to kind of gauge what the lens's conditions are just based on the listing and the photos. So everything that I purchased on that last mod stream last weekend, we're going to start opening today. Kind of compare the listing to what I actually got, show you guys how I go through all those lenses, what I look for in a used lens from eBay. And hopefully I got some keepers. Hopefully I don't have to return all of them, but we'll find out. I have my list here with the serial numbers, and I should have done some pre-work and pulled up all of the old listings, but I didn't. So hopefully I can find them. Actually, I'm sure I can find them. It's just odd because I don't use my eBay account in the stream. Purchase history, there we go. Oh yeah, they're all here. Okay, so we'll go through them. And I haven't touched the boxes yet. These are completely unopened. They've literally just been sitting behind my bench here for a couple days. So yeah, let's start digging into them. Okay. So first one, I don't know which ones are which. I haven't even, like I said, they're completely sealed. So we're gonna find out what's what. Underneath. Most of, if not all, of the lenses that I bought came from Japan. Decent packaging, but right off the top, these are nice, but this one already burst. Which means this had little to no protection. Sorry if some of this is loud. First one up. Should have had a bin here for all this trash. So the first one up is the 35 3.5. Let's find this one. Here we go. Alright, so this one was listed at near mint. It did come from Japan, obviously. This one, the listing said there is light fog in the rear lens, and then nothing else. No fungus, no scratches, no separation. Right away I can see very, very minor contamination. When I say contamination, that's sort of our lens technician term. Oh, hey, Phil. Good morning. That's kind of our term for anything in the lens that shouldn't be in the lens. Yeah, it is kind of hazy. You guys can see that. It lights up pretty instantly. Oh. Good morning, Kamalaton. I said it right last time. Kamala, yeah. Also, slightly odd shape to the aperture. At most stops, it's okay, but it's a little oblong. Well, I turned off the autofocus, but you can see it. It's not perfectly symmetrical. Focus is really stiff. It's consistent though, so that means it probably just needs a relube. It's not stiff because something's bent or broken, so that's good. But anyway, so the rubber looks fantastic. All the engravings are nice and clean. This screw here is a little chewed up. That's concerning. That's very concerning. And these spanner marks, which I think I saw in the listing. Yeah, that showed in the listing. The spanner slots have obviously been abused, which means this has been taken apart. So. That might end up being troublesome. That screw's pretty chewed up. Maybe we should pull up the microscope cam. Will you be cleaning the actual elements? If I keep them, yes. So far, this one's a keeper. I'm not going to do the projection test or the camera test on the stream just because it's boring. I'll definitely be sharing results from these, either on, well, on Instagram most likely, but shot with either a Sigma FP or probably FP because it's full frame. I was going to say my Fuji, but I don't want to waste that much image circle. So overall, it's in pretty good shape. There's other spanner slots inside that look untouched, which is good. Yeah, I see the haze now, but that shouldn't be too difficult to get to. So yeah, this one I think is a keeper. It was priced right. This one was, what did I pay for this one? This was $3.99. So I think that's, for this focal length, that's fair. Oh, since we have everything here, 35. This is a CN, correct? 6 blades, yes. Okay. And it should be approximately 445 grams. Oh, what happened? There we go. It's pretty damn close. 443. So that gets a confirm. Okay. I think this one's a keeper. Yeah, other than the focus being a little heavy and that haze in the rear, I think this is very nice. So this will go on the projector to get a proper check. Yeah, that haze is not going to be difficult to clean out. Next one. All of these boxes are pretty much the same. Like they coordinated. Yeah, same exact packing material. I wouldn't be surprised if this came from the same seller. I didn't bother looking, but again, that top one is completely flat. Which means if this box was tipped upside down and it hit something, it would impact it almost directly. All eBay in this case. Yes, these are all eBay. Good morning, John. Oh, no rear cap. Okay. So that's something, that's a big red flag. This one is 150. There we go. 150. Alright, so this should be 21768. Serial numbers are always hard to find on these. There we go. This was easy. On some of the Mamiyas, the Sekor-Cs, it's stamped into the plastic. This one's easy. But sometimes it's a stamp into the plastic, which is hard to read. It's not engraved or colored, it's just black on black. Oh, right away. There we go. Oh no, that's the switch. That's fine. That's how it's supposed to be. So I looked at it was an auto when it came in. Then when you go to manual, this little switch moves over, but it's just pivoting. So it looks bent if you just look at it. But when you switch it to auto, it goes the other way. And that's what it's supposed to do so that it can shut the aperture or open the aperture. This focus feels pretty nice, actually. Very nice. Very consistent, very smooth. Anodizing is still nice on the actual metal parts. Let me pull up this listing. All right, this was the 150. So for this one, it was listed as excellent plus 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 plus. And the details: beautiful condition, no fungus, no scratches, no separation. There is very thin haze on the front element. Yeah, I see that. Actually, that looks like possibly the remnants of fungus, meaning it might have been cleaned out and that was what was left behind. I do see a fingerprint in there. Let me hold this up. Right at the, well, for you guys, what is that? 9 o'clock position. Might be kind of hard to see on camera. But there is a haze right in the middle. Here, you can see it there. It's pretty severe. So that'll also get taken apart, and I'll see if I can clean it. Price-wise, this one I think was the most affordable. Yeah, this one I snagged for $100. So if that haze on the front cleans off, then this was definitely worth it. Let's check the database here. So this should be a 67 mil front. It is. Rubber grip. And it should be 740 grams. It feels like less. Yeah, it's much less. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. That's why. I knew it. I knew something was off. The N model. 420. Spot on. Perfect. Okay. All right. So aside from not having a rear cap, everything looks good. Like, there's no damage to the rear. All these screws are in much better condition than the other one. I do see a tiny bit of edge paint flaws at the back, but it's not going to affect anything because this is already a masked element. There is one piece of debris right in the center there. Yeah, you can see that. That shows up right away with this light. That speck right in the center. So that'll have to get cleaned out. But that shouldn't be difficult. So I'm pretty happy with this one. A little bit of scarring or marring on the plastic there. It's kind of a bummer. But not a deal breaker at all. In fact, I might remake this entire aperture ring because I've never liked the plastic, and if I redesign this specific ring, pretty sure it's the same on all of them, then when I do the mods, you know, I'll put the standard Delrin focus gear, but I'll replace this along with the PL mount, and it'll have a nice aluminum shell from front to back. So that's a keeper as well, I think. Next up, this one also from Japan. Ooh, newspaper. So, good packing, actually. I mean, there's nothing wrong with using newspaper, but it's padded all the way around, which is nice. I love seeing newspapers. Oh, there we go. Shogi, or what is this? Market. This is old. This is from 2017. Let's see. Okay, do that. Ooh, we have a hood. Okay, so under the newspaper, we're back to this same bubble material. So again, this bothers me. So this bubble stuff is fine, but you know, this is very well padded. This is well padded. This is padded. This is padded. The lens is right there. I can touch the lens. So if this lens was, if the box was dropped or hit or anything, that's it. That's the lens. There's no padding there. And that was right on the bottom of the box. So that's concerning. Nearly every lens I've purchased from Japan is well packed. Yeah, usually they are. And this is well packed by most standards. I just have slightly higher standards. Get the music down here a little bit. Okay. Ooh, free filter. That's fine. Don't want that. This glass looks fantastic. All right, so now we're on to the 80mm. Let's pull up that listing here. 80mm CN. Okay, here we go. So this one was listed at excellent +5. Same format, same listing format as the other. So optics, beautiful condition, no fungus. There is a haze in the rear element. No scratch, is few dust. It's got some dust on it, but that's no big deal. Focus feels excellent. I'm getting lucky so far. I did get one from Poland that came literally in a box full of... Oh, peanuts are terrible for lenses. They put dust and debris inside the optics really easily. So this one said haze in rear element. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Look at that. All right, so that needs to be cleaned for sure. What did we pay for this guy? Ooh, this might be going back. This one was 800. So depending on how well that cleans out, this one might get returned. It's hard to tell where that is. It looks like it's on the back surface of the second to last element. But that will definitely affect the contrast of the lens. So, on the bright side, these screws look almost untouched, which is good to me. To be clear, if a lens has contamination like this haze, I want it to be, I'd rather have the opportunity to clean it myself than have someone else that doesn't know what they're doing attempt to clean it. The rubber grip's a little old, a little dirty. The engravings are decent, not great. The front element does look really nice. Yeah, very nice. Very minor dust. Nothing major. Yeah, so this one I am going to keep, but it's going to go through service for sure, because I want that haze cleared off. Yeah, so this whole group will come apart. I believe the haze is right here. Nope. There it is. That's not good. This is a sealed group. Yeah, it's in between these two elements, and that's a sealed cell. So this one might be going back. Mostly just because of that price. It's hard to justify that amount of haze at that price. Good morning, Johnny. Good morning, Max. Or good evening, Max. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. Yeah, you can see where it's spun in right here. This aluminum, or this it's most likely brass. Actually, no, that's aluminum. But they make a very small edge, and then they use a machine to roll it over. So it can be cut out, but it's not worth that amount of extra work at this price. So this might be going back. Oh, quick warning for you, for any F1 fans. I have not watched qualifying yet, so do not spoil anything for me. Please. Okay. Let's clean this up real quick. Yeah, it's a lot of haze. Then again, so this amount of haze that I'm seeing, I most likely won't return it because I don't want to do that to the eBay seller. I know a lot of people that will buy something and then return it because it's not what they want, but this listing clearly says haze in rear. So they didn't lie at all. And I don't want to force them to pay for return shipping or anything or lose the fees to eBay. So I will probably end up keeping this one. And maybe just end up using it for spare parts or attempt to get that haze out anyway. But they were, credit to this seller, GA Camera. They clearly stated the haze in the back, and I bought it knowing that. Howdy, Matthew and Phil. Have you used any of your favorite Canon EF lenses for Ursa 12K to recommend? If you're asking about EF lenses made by Canon, I'd say skip all of them. I mean, use them if you have them, sure, but Canon's EF lenses are not good for cinema work. It's such a bummer because that rear element is really nice. It's very clean. All right, skylight filter, pink-ish. Actually, I'm gonna leave that off. Sigma Art, but even better, Sigma Cine. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Phil. If you've got an Ursa 12K, do that camera justice and get a decent Cine lens. Oh, we didn't cross-check this, so the 80mm. Sekor-C F19. Should also be 420 grams. 425. 424. Those extra 4 grams of the haze in the back. Just kidding, that's not true. All right, next one. There's the scene. An odd box. Same packing material. Okay, so this one, close, still fail. That's the edge of the lens right there. See that? No padding whatsoever. This one's flat. That one still has air, but the lens is just absolutely zero protection there. You can hit it with anything. Buried DNAs or Mamiya 640. Oh, Mamiya all the way. Airy DNAs are an amalgamation of other lenses, and they don't match each other at all. For anyone that doesn't know what the Airy DNA lenses are, when Airy came out with their Alexa 65, they basically took a boatload of lenses, put them on the projector and the camera, and said, okay, what covers this 65? And whatever lenses, whatever formats they could find that happened to cover Alexa 65, they said, okay, let's take that one, let's take that one, and that one. And then they rehoused them into the DNA lenses. So some of the DNA lenses may actually be Mamiyas, but there's no consistency. Ooh, I'm excited. This is the one I've been wanting to get for a long time. All right, so this is the 145, right? Yeah, 145 soft focus. This is not an N series, it's just a C. Oh, beautiful aperture. This glass is in fantastic shape. There's the filter. Or it's not a filter, it's an adjustment. So this I've never used this lens. I've been looking for one for a long time, and I finally decided to pull the trigger. I don't know what this... Oh, that's strange. What is happening? I picked up the wide-angle Tokina based on your past recommendation many moons ago. Worked well. Good. Yeah, that can't go wrong with that wide Tokina. Who makes Panavision lenses? Do they make their own or someone else makes them? And why does almost everyone in Hollywood use them? That's a good question, Johnny. Panavision does not make their own glass. They contract other companies to make it for them, which is not uncommon. I'm not faulting them for that by any means. But yeah, Panavision does not have a glass factory. They will outsource, or they'll partner with another manufacturer. They're famous for partnering with Elcan, which is Ernst Lights Canada. So the same factory that made a lot of Leica lenses made lenses for Panavision. So people love them because they are consistent, they're predictable, they've got heritage, they've got support behind them. If you go to Panavision and you rent a camera package, you know that it's going to work. You know everything is going to work with the camera, they're going to work with the accessories. It's just a complete convenient system. A rare lens in the series, but usually in good shape as they were never daily drivers. That's true. That's a very good point. I like that, Phil. They build their own lenses. Yeah. Thank you, John. So yeah, this I am very eager to play with. Now, I don't have any experience with this lens. So here's the aperture works, obviously. You can see it there. But when I pull back on the focus ring, it closes down, and I am not sure why. I don't know if that's intentional or if that serves a purpose. I want to learn more about this lens. I need to find a vintage manual for it. But this soft focus functionality is going to be a lot of fun, I think. You'll definitely be seeing results from this on my Instagram. This is going straight onto the FP for sure. Actually, with this one, I might put it on my phase just to get the full medium format look. got a little bit of play in the focus. I don't think I'm too concerned about that. It is intentional. If you know something here, Mr. Mortensen, please tell me. I am not familiar with this specific model. It's so you get max light into the finder while looking. I don't understand that. Well, no, because the aperture closes down as soon as I turn the aperture ring to whatever I set it to. Oh, it doesn't go all the way. You're right. Interesting. It looks like it only actually closes to about f11, and if I wanted to go further, I have to pull back on the focus ring. I see your point. Yeah, it's like every Nikon body. You know, the aperture is pulled wide open, and then when you take the picture, the camera and the tab on the lens work together, and it shuts your aperture. But yeah, it's impossible to compose and focus a shot when you're shooting at f11 if the aperture is actually at f11. So it keeps it wide open so you can see what you're doing, and then shuts it when you're actually taking the photo. But does that mean that when you take the photo, you have to pull back to get the correct exposure? Well, there's no electronics in this one. It does have the linkage for the camera to interface, but it's not electronic at all. Maybe I need to just buy a Mamiya 645 Pro camera and actually use it how it's intended. No, there's no contacts in these. These are fully manual. This linkage right here is the only thing that interfaced between the lens and the camera. So this will be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to playing with this one. Anyways, I don't really even care what kind of condition this is in because I've been so eager to get my hands on it. So just for consistency here, this one was listed as mint. It says tiny scuffs, normal signs of use. No fog, no fungus, no scratches. I would agree with all of that. This all looks fantastic. I've also never converted this model to PL before, which might be tricky because this looks like it's all one piece. And if this entire baffle comes out, I'm going to have to engineer a new baffle that prevents light from bouncing around in there. So anyone know of simple mount mod people in EU? What does that mean? Simple mount mod. You mean to modify this mount? I would say TLS in the UK, but technically they're not part of the EU anymore, so no rear cap on this one either, I guess. So anyways, I'm very happy with this one. I cannot wait to put this on a camera and get some images. Next, oh wait, keeps forgetting. So the 80 we did. We did the 150. And the 145. That's the one we just got here. That is a rubber grip. Just didn't know. And the weight should be 900 grams. Spot on. All right. Oh yeah, that's definitely the right one. Okay, this is odd because I have one more lens that I bought, but I have another box, so I don't know what that is. I didn't bother cross-checking these. So, let's see. I might be opening a customer's lens not knowing it. I hate these international pouches. Same packing material again. Look at that. Again. That's the lens right there. Yeah, this one's completely flat. There's no padding on that whatsoever. Ooh, you got 2 filters on this one. Okay. So somebody really liked close focus. So this is the 80. F4, is that correct? No. Oh, okay, there it is. I grabbed the wrong one. So that's that one. All right, now we're on the macro. Okay, that makes sense. So this is already a macro lens, and someone put 2 close-up filters on top of it being a macro. That's a little unnecessary. Jeez. All right. Overall, this is in practically new condition. Almost no wear and tear on these sharp edges. All 6 screws are nice, untouched. Let me pull up this listing here. See what they said. 80 macro. Here we go. So this one was listed at excellent plus 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 plus. Thin haze. Doesn't say where. No fungus, no scratches. Oh, there it is. Right there at the back. Get a good angle. There, you see it? See that halo of haze? That's pretty obvious. So, this one was cheap. This was 150, so that might be worth diving into and pulling out that haze, or cleaning out that haze. We got a 5-bladed aperture. Let's confirm that on my database. Yep, that's... Where'd it go? 80 macro. Yeah, 5 blades, okay. Not a huge fan of the 5-bladed aperture. Got your pentagon. Focus feels fine. Actually, really nice. What set of lenses do you plan on getting next? That's a good question, Johnny. I'm not sure. I haven't decided. So anyway, this focus feels really nice. This is better than Clubhouse. Clubhouse is fine, it's not visual, so it wouldn't work for this setup. The image magnification is fine. So there's 40. Yeah, everything on this is fantastic. I'd say even with that haze, this was a bargain. Okay. Front optics. Very nice. There's a little piece of lint. It looks like it's just in front of... Yeah, just in front of the aperture, which is deeper than I would have to dive to get to that, that haze. But still, I think it's worth it. I would apply the same logic that Phil mentioned about the 145 soft focus in that this is nobody's daily driver. Nobody used this daily, and if they did, it sat in a macro setup and it was well cared for. It wasn't taken out and abused and thrown in a bag. So I'm not surprised that it's in good condition. But this, I think of the 5 that I've opened so far, I think this is the nicest. Oh yeah, I could see that haze. All right. This one should come in at 585 grams. That's pretty far off. I'm going to change that. Oh, low battery. Maybe that's why it was off. Bummer. I don't think I've ever changed this battery. 2032, okay. I'm gonna have to get that. This says 565. I'm gonna leave it for now just in case it happens to be something with the battery. Which doesn't seem likely, but whatever. This is odd. Oh, 6, 902. Oh, that's the same number. I don't know where I got this serial number. That's strange. Anyway, this one is also a keeper so far. So I'm very happy so far. Everything that I received is in good enough condition to keep and or service. Nothing was an outright lie in the listing. And then I have this random one. I don't know what this is. Oh my gosh, it's heavy. Maybe this isn't... This might not be a Mamiya for the mod stream. Maybe I shouldn't open this on camera. This could very well just be a customer's lens. What is this? Oh, never mind. This is not a lens. All right. We're not opening this on camera. Okay. Mystery package. Yeah. Okay, that explains it. That's all of the lenses that I ordered. So they're all correct. Except for that one random serial number. I don't know where that came from. 80mm. Yeah, that's wrong. 106902. Quick tip, if you guys are ever trying to figure out what the diameter is, if you're modding your own lenses and you can't figure out the filter thread, almost every clicky style cap like this has the thread size imprinted on the inside. So this one says right here, Japan 67 diameter. So now you know this is a 67mm thread. Same goes for contacts, Leica R, ZF2s, ZFs, pretty much any lens that has this sort of clicky style that interfaces with the threads, it's going to have that imprinting. What's the difference between Zeiss Milvus versus the ZF Classics? Do they have leaded glass? No, none of the ZFs or Milvus have lead in the glass. In some focal lengths, the optics in the Milvus is actually the exact same optics that's in the ZF and ZF2s, such as the 28, the 50 macro, the 100 macro. I think that's it. The 15, the key ones in the Milvus line are brand new. So the 25, 35, 50, 85 are all brand new designs, and they're much, much better. Dust is problematic on macro lenses. You see them on footage at low aperture. Yeah, because your depth of field is so close and so deep, you're going to see dust immediately on a macro lens. You guys still sell the Laowa 12mm? Yeah, of course. I went to the store. It wasn't there. What? Lenses. Laowa. Yeah, it's there. Bottom left. The 12mm T2.90D CINE. It's out of stock at the moment, but it's definitely on its store. Join late. Which Sekor-C focal lengths will you be modding today? So, thank you, Jan. Or Jan. I'm not sure. Sorry. We're not actually modding any today. This was just me unboxing everything that I ordered from eBay. So they will have to go through much, much more inspection before we actually even mod them. They will go on the projector to have the image quality evaluated. They'll go on a camera to see if they're doing anything odd on the camera. Yeah, and then after that, a couple of them that we got are going to need to be serviced. In particular, this 80. Since you joined late, I'll go over this one super quick, but this was a little disappointing. That haze in the back is pretty severe. I mean, that should be almost completely transparent, but you can see it's, you know, almost opaque. So that will definitely affect the image quality. in particular the contrast. So we'll see. Do you think like a L lenses will continue to increase the value? I'm not sure what you mean by L. R lenses? Thinking about getting the Milvus 18. The Milvus 18 is a nice lens. It's a pretty big improvement over the ZF and ZF2 18mm. Not only is it faster at f2.8 instead of f2.8 instead of 3.5 in the classic, but image quality is significantly better in the Milvus version. I have a 150 Mamiya soft focus lens that has a synchro flash input 2. Should I also get 140mm soft focus one? This is the 145. Oh, if you have the synchro flash, then you're probably talking about the AFD, the D series, instead of the Sekor-C. I went with the 145 soft focus because I love quirky lenses, and I have never actually had one of these before. So it's more or less just an experiment for me. I'm going to try it probably before I do any mods to it. I'm going to put it on my camera this weekend and shoot with it, get some images, and decide if I want to put the effort into modding it. When an image shifts, what does that mean exactly? A few of mine have sent the paperwork, said few of them. Image shift is when, I don't have any good examples here. So all of these focus movements are driven on a helicoid system. So there's threads that push everything back and forth. And those threads wear out over time, and they leave what we call slop in the threads, or play in the threads. And when you have that play, it's literally two pieces that are supposed to be sliding against each other, nice and smooth and accurate, but now they have some space, so they can kind of wiggle back and forth. And when you have that looseness or that play, as you're racking focus, your entire image is shifting back and forth because you're moving your lens elements back and forth. For photography, doesn't matter. Nobody cares. But for cinematography, when you go to rack focus and your entire screen shifts, maybe it's not a big deal if your content is made for an iPhone and it's only moving a fraction of a millimeter. But if you're shooting content that is bound for a TV or even, definitely something you want to be careful if it's going for a big screen, because that tiny, tiny shift on a 30-foot cinema screen is going to be a shift of like a foot or 2 feet, and it's going to really throw people off and take them out of the scene. Hey Matt, I also joined late. What causes the haze and can you get rid of it? Haze is any number of causes. Usually it's a result of moisture or condensation. And that condensation forms on the inside of a lens and then just stays there. It just deposits dust and debris. That's usually the cause of haze. The other less common but still very common, I don't know the word. Important, I guess, is outgassing. It's not unoften that we see either a painted internal component or maybe somebody used the wrong grease, and when it gets hot and cold, that those materials can outgas and cause the haze to stick onto an element. Do you think Leica R lenses will continue to increase in price? Yes, I do think they will continue because they are starting to become very hard to find. I don't know how far it'll go. I wouldn't even pretend to guess that because they're vintage. You can't make more of them. Leica will never make more of those. So it's a supply and demand issue. Finally got my 25mm contact Zeiss from y'all. You did a wonderful job. Now my lenses are complete, so thanks. Yeah, of course, Johnny. My pleasure. Is the haze not caused by glued elements? It can be if the elements start to separate if that cement or if that balsam goes bad, you'll usually see different effects. Like you'll have blotches or certain sections that start to fail. It's usually not uniform like this one. If you saw, the chances of the glue or the cement failing uniformly across the entire element like that are very, very low. So this is most likely condensation. Is it difficult to remove haze from the elements? Depends on where it is. Like I was saying on this one, it will be difficult because it's in a sealed group. I have to open it and try. I don't know if I can even get to that element without destroying parts of the housing. If it's on a simple element like the back side of the front element, yeah, it's usually very easy. What is the process of getting your PL mount onto these? How complex compared to, say, Leica RDF? It's a little more involved than the Leica RDF because we have to remove several components, whereas the Leica RDF is essentially just taking out the screws, put the mount on, and put more screws in. So it's a little bit more in-depth. If these all go well, I might do that on another mod stream, modding my personal ones to PL, which are the rest of them are right back there, ready to go. Actually, not ready to go. They've been modded. They have the PL. Grab the Zeiss ZFs, hold on to them for 20 years. Yeah, that's true. The ZFs they're next in line after the contacts to be quote-unquote classics, vintage lenses. You want to see a case of instant outgassing, try using super glue near an element. Don't do this, by the way. You will need to deep clean it. Yeah, lots of glues, lots of adhesives outgas really badly. So this rubber grip's pretty nasty. I'm going to have to clean that off. This will get a good scrub in the sink. That screw looks a little loose. Was this the one with the chewed up screw? No. So another quick thing for anybody that joined late. Which one was it? There we go, right there. That screw is pretty mangled. What's the playlist you use? I use Epidemic Sound for my licensed music. When I first started doing the mod streams, I just played Spotify and got dinged or got flagged by YouTube. So now I do licensed music through Epidemic, and it's just a playlist that I created. The Leica R21 f4 are a Schneider lens? ? I don't know. A lot of the Leica, Schneider, Ingenue, Minolta stuff is very incestuous. My favorite is the Zeiss 3514. I did a lighting test and whatnot. I turned off all the lights in the room and had someone sit in front of the TV and only use the TV to light the scene, and it worked. Could you reach back and show us fully modded Sekor-C? Yeah, sure. Actually, I might grab the microscope cam also. Let's do that first, actually. Maybe not. There it is. I found it. Uh-oh. What's going on? Did I lose power to my hub? I think I did. Bummer. could I do that? Killed it. There it goes. It was just loose. All right. Oh, it's not working now. What happened? There we go. So this screw that's chewed up. There it is. Oh my gosh, I can't navigate upside down and backwards. That's pretty mangled. So somebody messed this up pretty badly. What it should look like is more like, well, even this one's a little messed up. So that is a sign that this lens was, you know, either someone tried to do it that didn't know what they were doing, or it was poorly cared for. Someone just tried to fix something super fast and not do it correctly. So keep an eye out for stuff like that. Anyways. Definitely a red flag for me. And I try to see that in the photos of the eBay listing. But it's not uncommon for the sellers to not bother showing that because most people don't think about it. 50mm was too close. What? I bought an 80 1.9. It had haze that looks like what you have there. Opened it up and lens haze was in between two rear elements. Yeah, that's exactly what I have. What is a good telephoto lens in your opinion? That's very loose. Depends on what you consider telephoto. Some people consider 200mm telephoto. Some people consider 1000mm telephoto. If you're talking about pairing something with the ZFs and the contacts, personally, I absolutely love the contacts. It's a 180? I just forgot. I think it's a 180 f2, and there's a 200. I think. Which one is it? I just did one recently. It's the contacts. Yeah, 200 f2 Apo. That one I played with a lot, and it's a fantastic lens. Anyways. I got 3 Leica Rs in that I'm about to send off. They're vary in about 50 to 100K. What? You paid 50,000 for Leica Rs? Oh, Kelvin. Oh my god. So you're talking about the color temperature. Yeah, that's, I mean, you're gonna see them all over the place. It completely depends on how they were cared for. I've said this on almost every mod stream every weekend. you could have two lenses that are, you know, almost sequential in serial number, but if one was cared for very poorly and one was cared for very well, the color could be completely different. So I try not to pay too much attention to the serial number as much as I do the condition of the lens. How do you take out a stripped screw from a mount, or is it a trained secret? It's not a secret, it's just technique, it's experience. There's no secrets to it. It's all experience. So the modded Mamiyas, what these will become is basically this. Like, it's a seamless gear. You're all gonna get new front rings, which we actually have a newer style. I don't have one here yet. I think it's back in the laser shop right now. And then the PL mount, obviously. That's the main goal of these mods. Get all of these PL mounted. Mostly because I use them on either... Well, these are all going to go on my Sigma FP as a test, and I have the PL to L mount on it currently, so PL is convenient. But before I even convert these, I'll probably just end up using 645 to L mount. No, but I did pay top dollar. Good. That means you're going to get decent... I mean, hopefully you get decent lenses. You need to start using short PL caps. I can't. The only company I've seen that makes a short PL cap is Schneider, and they don't fit on most lenses. They happen to work on these because they're a short PL mount. But then I'd have to tell people, oh, don't get the short one if you have a long back lens. It would be a disaster. A guy named Leica Grapevine on eBay. He's supposedly legit. I looked inside the light, couldn't see anything optically wrong. I think the 50 Kelvin isn't a deal breaker. That's common on modern lenses. Phil, I might make a short cap for these, but not likely. It would really just be for me personally. And then that other mod that I mentioned, I'm probably going to design and machine a dedicated iris ring that isn't plastic, because all these Sekor-C ends have a plastic iris ring, which I don't like. And there's no convenient way to put an iris gear on it, because then it would cover up all of the markings, and you wouldn't know what aperture you're at. So I'm probably going to design and engineer a replacement iris ring and see how that works on not only the ones that I already have modded, but these 5 new ones. I don't even know if the PL mount will work on this one. I've never tried it. Never tried RZ67 lenses with a heliquid focusing. I have tried the RZ67 lenses, but I don't use them for any of the mods. They have the integrated shutter, so that doesn't work well. I might also replace these. I don't know if it shows on camera. Oh, it does, yeah. But this anodizing came out very purple, and I don't like it. See that? Looks purple or brown. Do you know of any reputable Leica dealers? I'm still on a quest for a couple more mint condition, not from Japan. I mean, the reputable dealers that I know of are going to be getting their stock from Japan anyway. But if you want to skip over that step and have a middleman, find Mark Magnarella. He's on Red User, and where else is he? I mean, most people just email him, but he's probably your best source for Leica Rs. Put it this way, he's my source for Leica Rs. So, anybody want some close-up diopters? This one doesn't even tell you what the power... Oh, number 2. Okay. Oh, yeah. Kenko. Kenko gets a bad rap. They're kind of the off-brand, but Kenko is part of THK. Tokina Hoya Kenko. THK, yeah. Hoya, so they're all the same parent company, THK, Tokina Hoya Kenko. The H being Hoya. Hoya makes, I don't want to say most, Hoya makes a large portion of the glass that you'll find in pretty much any lens, whether it's a Cook or a Leica or a Zeiss, it doesn't matter. Hoya is a huge supplier of raw glass material. I shouldn't say raw, what we call rough blanks. I'd take them. Where are you in the US? Unique Cinematic? I will send them to you if you're in the US. That's today's giveaway. 2 macro diopters and I shouldn't say macro, close-up diopters and a skylight 1B. 67 millimeter. Because I will not use those. I didn't open this. Yes, Harlem, New York. Awesome. They're yours. Send me an email. Where do you want to send it? Send it to modstream@ducloslenses.com. And just let me know your address and I'll drop these in the mail for you. You win. Oh, this is original. I thought it was going to be like an off-brand. This is pretty worn out. This stuff, this rubber oxidation cleans up really fast, though. You can revise it pretty easily. See, already cleaned up there. The old trick. It's not going to work super well, but just a little bit of tri-flow. You'd have to sit here for like 30 minutes rubbing in this tri-flow, but you get the idea. And then you just let it soak in overnight. Yeah. So after you spread it all around and let it soak in, it'll look like new. It won't stay that way. It's still going to fade again over time, but little tricks. Bill, are you still there? What product is it? It's Triflow. It's just a Just oil, lubricant. Nothing fancy. You can get it at most hardware stores. It smells like bananas. Yeah, see, it's already soaking in. It looks practically brand new. Yeah, I would definitely want to blacken the whole thing before I actually put it on a lens. There you go. Yeah, if it's not black, all it's going to do is reflect light into the lens unnecessarily. So... So there we go. I think that about does it. I'm still really bummed that I didn't get that 150 Apo. If anybody was watching last weekend, they'll know what I'm talking about. One of the lenses, probably one of the most expensive ones I was looking at, I saw a fantastic one and I was debating between two. And I came back to it after, I don't know, maybe 60 seconds, and it was gone. It was sold. That's been bothering me ever since. Also, I noticed on the other one that I was comparing it to, the listing said it was a 150 f2.8, etc., etc. But the actual lens was not a 150 2.8. It was a 3.5. So that listing was wrong. Or I should say, it's either wrong or the person was lying. I don't know. Never talk about glasses until you acquire it. That means you got it, Phil. You snatched. I know you have it, Phil. I know you bought it. I'm going to see if there's any new ones. I have an alert set up, but it's throwing me a bunch of stuff that isn't relevant. Yeah, the alert shows me all the like autofocus Mamiya lenses. Yeah, that one's going to be very hard to find, I think. Oh my gosh, did I just find one? Mamiya A. I'm not showing you guys this. Oh. Pretty sure I just found one. Where is this? Japan. Okay. Good. Good start. Body has no scratches. Glass is very clear, only very small dust. No fungus, no haze. I wasn't planning on doing more buying on the stream today, but I might have to get this one. It's not in great shape. On that. Okay, if you own it, Phil, what are your thoughts on the 150 Apo compared to the 3.5? Are you looking at it right now? How do you know you're looking at the same one, Phil? You don't know. I don't care. I'm buying it. I own three. You own 3 of the 150 Apo? I don't know if you could tell when something was listed. I did? I don't remember the APA 150. Maybe I just assumed it was the 3.5. Okay, I bought it. Oh man, I might regret that. I'll show you guys now that I bought it. Oh, so you don't have the 150 3.5, right, Phil? Is that what you're saying? All right, where's my browser? There it is. All right, so this is the one I just snagged. Price was actually okay. These photos of the front were a little concerning. I'm hoping that this right here is just a weird reflection and not something in the lens. It's a little bit of haze on the outside edge. That looks like it's on the front though, so that should be able to come off. I should be able to clean that pretty easily. Actually, that's in the back. This is a little concerning. It's just a little dusty. The wear patterns on the mount are a little bit excessive. But I think it's okay. Yeah, for the most part, yeah, see this wear right here is a little concerning. It just means the lens was used a lot, but the body itself is in really good shape. Oh, I didn't see that till just now. It looks like someone put individual tick marks at the in between stops. No big deal, but so anyways, we'll see. We'll see. The one in South Korea is in better shape. What? There's another one? A150. Is this the one you're talking about, Phil? Yeah, South Korea. Ooh, this is in good shape. I don't see what you're talking about on the rear element, though. It's... Alright, this one's at $495. So I paid slightly less, but we'll see how that pans out. Don't make me buy it. Just bought it. Just kidding. All right. Well, I mean, I'll see how the one that I got pans out. I'll update you guys on that one. I'll probably just put that on Instagram instead of doing a whole mod stream for it. So that pretty much wraps it up for today. It's a super short one, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm really eager to get these on the camera and go shoot some stuff. So sorry. Next weekend will probably be it's either going to be, I have two sets that I'm considering. It's either going to be Contax CY or a sort of hodgepodge set of Nikkor pre-AI lenses. So we'll see. Is this off topic? Those DCO lenses, Vespid, on what kind of lenses or glass are those build? Any idea? Those are completely unique. They're not adapted. They're not rehoused glass at all. Oh, I didn't realize my face camera was frozen. How long has that been stuck? There we go. It does that when I unplug the microscope cam from time to time. Hey Matthew, I have a dumb question. Red came out with an update for the Komodo firmware today. The anamorphic settings, I don't have anamorphics. But what do you think would be the best setting for me to try and emulate something similar? I'm not sure what you're asking, Antonio. Can you give an example of the CY, the Contax CY? It would be a set of 5, I think. It would be like the normal. I think it's going to be... Actually, I don't know what that set is. And I don't even see those contacts. Oh, it's not 5. Sorry, it's only 3. It's a 28, 28, 50, and 17, and 85, 28. So it'll be a small set. Yeah, Antonio, I think what Phil said might be accurate. If you're the anamorphic modes on Komodo are for shooting with an anamorphic lens. Basically, it changes the way the pixels are de-squeezed, essentially. It's gonna shrink your actual frame. So you can't use anamorphic mode with a spherical lens. You have to have an anamorphic lens. Oh, okay. So yeah, if you're trying to get the anamorphic look, you have to have an anamorphic lens if you want to put it in that mode. There's plenty of anamorphic, we call them, methods. You could use streak filters. You could use the monofilament trick. You could use, oval aperture cutouts, all sorts of things. Are those the small 35mm old still lens? Yes, those are the Zeiss Contax Yashica 35mm photo lenses. They're very popular for the mods. We do probably, I don't even know, maybe 3 or 4 sets a week on those. Those are, I'd say, right behind Leica R's in terms of popularity. If you have those lenses, they are fantastic for cinema work. If you don't want to use them for cinema work, they're worth a small fortune now because they're so popular. Just using, yeah, so when we do those mods, we do front ring, focus gear, declick the aperture, and we convert the mount to a fixed EF mount. Those would be perfect on an Ursa. All right, that wraps it up for me. I'm going to go put these on a camera and get some images. Oh, super quick. Where is it? Support the stream, lens-geek.com, and use that link there in the bottom left, and you'll get a discount. And don't usually plug my personal Instagram just because this is meant more for the Duclos lenses side of things, but I will be sharing some of the images shot with these specific lenses, in particular that soft focus, on my Instagram, which is at MQDuclos. Yeah, primarily I'm going to be shooting with these on the FP. So maybe a Sony A7, I'm not sure yet. It's going to be, FP is my priority. And then after that, maybe the A7, but probably not. And then if I really want to get the full effect, I'm going to put them, I have a phase 1 IQ3, the 100 megapixel that I might put these on, but I don't have a 645 mount for that at the moment. FPL. Phil, if I had an FPL, I wouldn't be allowed to admit it. So I'll leave it at that. But yeah. All right, everyone. Have a good weekend. Subscribe. And I will see you guys next weekend.